Please welcome County Commissioner Dennis Hisey. This may be the big picture, but we're really kind of the people in the trenches, so that's what you're going to hear more about. I'm kind of a poor substitute for Kathy Andrews. She's our green team coordinator. The county just recently stood that team up here in the last few months. Kathy had kind of been doing it anyway, but we made it official. You know, I tend to promote what most people think of El Paso County here, kind of a little on the gray side, kind of stodgy, older, not very progressive. Kathy's, you know, younger, energetic, full of ideas, but she's out of town, so you get started. One of our strategic goals is to make El Paso County a better place to live in the future. Well, you can't do that if we're not environmentally there. You know, if we've ruined the environment, creating the best road in the country, it's not the best place to live. So we recognize that being green is something that we have to do. It's a moral obligation. Now, we don't have all the resources in the world to do it, like you don't either, but we're trying. Doing the right thing is not a partisan issue. Tonight, I learned a very important lesson. If you're going to steal somebody's material, speak before they do. James D'Amato had a great editorial in the Gazette a few days ago, and so I was going to quote that here. Above all, this should not be a partisan issue. After all, conservatives as well as liberals have kids and grandkids to whom they would like to bequeath the benefits of a clean and healthful environment. So you've heard it twice now. I don't know if you've noticed, but all your speakers have come from your far right. I understand there are people on the left who are on board on this topic as well. In the summer of 2006, the county instituted a recycling program amongst the county buildings, county employees. We have 126 buildings. Some of those are nothing more than pump houses, but we have 126 buildings, 2,000 employees. Since that time, well, actually this was just 2 years because it's not current today, we recycled 1.3 million pounds of paper, 34,000 pounds of cardboard, and 1,600 pounds of aluminum and plastics. Obviously, we're not real big pop drinkers down there, but that's just coming from the county buildings, from the employees. We're now going single stream. That'll be the big announcement coming out in June from the Green Team. I've received permission from Kathy that I could go ahead and start putting my stuff in the single stream in my little paper recycler already, so there's been some of that. I have a little trouble conceptually with this single stream. You put your paper in there, you put your plastics in there, you put your aluminum in there, and all of a sudden it looks a lot like your trash. But I understand they've got to figure it out on the other end, so I'm okay with it if Kathy tells me we're okay with it. We've done an awful lot in the last few years to move to electronic reports. As a commissioner, you get all kinds of reports from everybody because they want you to know what's going on, because when they come in front of you and need something, a lot better chance that they're going to get it if you know what they're doing. We were getting paper reports all the time. 2 pages, 10 pages, didn't matter, various departments. I'd been there a few months, and I just started collecting them all. Threw them in a manila envelope, used, and after 6 months, because I thought everybody that does quarterly reports, monthly, weekly, you know, I had a pretty good stack. I carted them into our county administrator's office, Terry Harris at the time, and I said, why are they doing this? Why don't they just send it electronically? We all have computers now. We all know how to use them. Send these electronically. They do. It's amazing how much thinner my inbox is now than it was 4 years ago. Yeah. Just got an email from the clerk and recorder probably 3 weeks ago now. They're converting their daily accounting reports to a CD as opposed to printing them. And he figures that is going to save him 1 case of paper a month. And You know, we're talking printing costs, we're talking printers we have to buy, ink cartridges, somebody standing there. We're making progress. Mulch, tree trimmings. If you've been out to the Acres Road, the DOT yard, and there's a reason for you to know where Acres Road is, by the way, so we'll get there, but DOT yard, we have to trim our right-of-ways, get the trees off of them, make it safe. You need to be able to see the stop signs. We shred that, run it through a normal chipper, bring it into the DOT yard. When there's a mound there about half the size of an airplane hangar, we bring in somebody else with a chipper that does a better job, and then that mulch goes back out to county parks and to our county projects. Saves us a boatload of money in having to buy that kind of material, which actually we just wouldn't do without. The DOT is doing that. Black Forest / mulch wildfire mitigation program, believe it or not, happens in Black Forest. Black Forest is badly overgrown. There are healthy parts of it, but only where people have managed it. So we encourage the citizens to cut down their diseased trees, their stunted trees, their understory, bring it to a central place. They can dump it for free. We grind it up, blow it into a big pile. They can haul it away for free to use that mulch. Serves two purposes. One, it makes a healthier forest. Secondly, it gives us some defensible space. Hopefully, we would not have a Haman-type fire up there, but we had so much land that was so overgrown, there was no hope of us stopping a fire if it got started in that area. And by the way, you can cuss the developers if you want, but when they develop in Black Forest, we make them go in and clean this up and give us a healthy forest. My favorite on the mulch line. I moved down to Fountain from Whitefield, so I moved every bit of 5 miles here about a year ago. Bought an acre, has probably 40 trees on it, some of them are alive. Actually, most of them are alive, but all of them needed help. It was pretty overgrown. Rocky Top Resources down on Las Vegas Street. Through a program with the county, you can take your slash, your mulch, your tree well, not just your tree trimmings, but for those of you that think you still need a bagger on your lawnmower, you can take that in there. Your sod. We set up this great program with Rocky Top to take all that for the county. The only thing they ask is 1 can of food that they can donate to Care and Ship. So that's really one of my favorites, probably because I've been a regular down there for the last year or so. Our maintenance shop, always a tough place. You're dealing with nasty stuff, you know, oil, grease, the lubricants, and even paint. We actually sell our used oil where it is recycled. We sell our scrap. We recount our tires now one more time than we used to, meaning there are fewer casings rolling off of the assembly line and fewer of them going down to who knows where because Midway's still closed. Our used oil filters, they're crushed and recycled. The paint shop switched to spray guns that put out less vapor. But that's kind of what the county does internally for the county. Back out on 8 Acres Road, which runs parallel to Mark Shuffle, Constitution on the south side, North Carefree on the other side. Just a little short road. We have our household hazardous waste collection facility. These guys do great work. None of your taxpayer dollars involved. We get our tipping fee from every yard that goes to the landfill, because what goes there are the things that cannot go to the landfill. Should not go to the landfill, but cannot go to the landfill. Your pesticides, your fertilizers, propane bottles, you know, all the good stuff that you don't know what to do with. Last year, or in the last 5 years, we have recycled or properly disposed of, Kathy's words there, 294,000 gallons of paint and staining, 1,555 gallon barrels of flammable materials, and over 40,000 gallons of used motor oil. Since 1907, I wasn't here then, since 2007,